Hey guys, it's me, Mr. 250, and welcome back to Virtue's Last Reward. Last we left off, we had Dio being a jerk, stole our Axe Levere, we're not allowed to tell anybody, and we're still deciding on whether or not we should ally with him. Obviously, ally means that he won't smash the Axe Levere, we're assuming. We could also die, you know, so that's another possibility. And, yeah, so everything's not going great. But we left off, I guess, trying to figure out a little bit more about Cork at this point. I see. Mind if I have a look? Hi, Cork. I made my way around the partition, to the side of Cork's bed. The journal and the thing Fi and I had talked about would definitely need to be addressed. Sorry, but for the moment, the AB game was what I needed to concentrate on. For some reason, it didn't make sense what I just said in my head. Lives were at stake. Mine. And Cork's. Those infected by Radical 6 eventually developed a powerful urge to commit suicide. And then Cork definitely tried to do that. If the journal was telling the truth, then as soon as the anesthetic wore off, Cork would go insane again. What if we weren't able to restrain him a second time? What if he managed to kill himself before we got to him? Or perhaps he'd just get out of the infirmary and hide somewhere. I mean, that might make sense actually, because remember, the first couple of playthroughs that we had, we couldn't find Cork to save our life. He was probably maybe hiding somewhere, and he might have killed himself somewhere, obviously. On the other hand, it wasn't like we could keep anesthesizing him forever. Is that how you say that? Anesthesizing him forever. There was only one way to save Cork, and that was with Axe Levere. Unfortunately, Dio had stolen it. If we wanted to get it back, Clover and I would have to vote ally. But if we did, there was an excellent chance I would end up dead. The question was, then, what to do? Sacrifice myself to save Cork? Or keep quiet about the danger he was in to save myself? It was so faint, I almost didn't hear it. Oh no. Oh no, he's awake. Oh, this is gonna go badly. He shifted a little, then fell silent again. For now. It was enough, though. What on earth had I been thinking? How could I have even considered letting a child die in my place? Suddenly, my cheeks felt hot with embarrassment and disgust. That I had considered letting Cork die, even for a minute, was pathetic. There was only one choice. Chalkies? Chalkies? I think somebody mixed up their letters. There had only ever been one choice. No way was I going to leave Cork to die. My hands tightened into fists as I looked down at him. Any uncertainty I felt before was gone. I knew what I had to do. Well, we don't have much more time to think about it, do we? So Clover, you wanna give me a little bit of help with making a decision like you did last time? Clover still... Clover would still be at 6 points right now, wouldn't she? That would mean that she's hoping that Dio allies, and that he thinks that we're gonna ally, so he'll ally, and that we would betray him, because then she could get out, probably. What about you? Yeah, he might kill himself if no one's watching. でも、天明寺さんはそろばんですし、投票しなかったら
自動的に強力に設定される。そんなことは知っておるわ。つい今しがたのアナウンスでも言っておったしな。
What are you gonna do if Kay and Alice vote betray?
別にどうもせん。ただやられたと思うだけじゃ。
He does have enough points that he could stand to lose some here.
強力にしか投票できんのじゃよ。対戦相手であるアリスとケイのペア。
Though that means that if they were to betray him, that Kay would end up getting out.
そのうちアリスの方は BP が1じゃからな。
And knowing that it wouldn't kill Tenmyoji, I wonder, would Kay actually end up betraying then? He just might.
もしもわしが裏切りを選び、奴らが協力を選んでしまったら、わしはアリスを殺すことになってしまう。
Because Kay knows that he wouldn't kill Tenmyoji with this, so he might actually do it.
そんなことをしてまでわしは脱出したいとは思わん。クォークを置いていくわけにもいかんしな。したがって AB ルームに入ろうと入るまいとどっちにしろ同じなんじゃよ。わしの手は強力で決まっておるからな。
Tenmyoji's mind was made up. Trying to persuade him to leave would have been pointless. Alright. Take care of Quark.
あ、心配には及ばんよ。
I love that face he makes. Let's go.
はい。
Luna and I headed out of the infirmary, leaving Tenmyoji and Quark behind. So Quark's obviously going to go with an ally this time as well. When we got to the warehouse, we found everyone else waiting for us. I bet Clover's thinking about that whole, she only needs to betray Dio and then get back. Well, not quite everyone. One other person was missing. Hey, where's Dio?
AB ルームの扉見ればわかるんじ
Is
ゃ
he
ない
already inside? They're all closed. When we came in here before, the one on the far right was open.
つまり
That he's in there. That he went in, I guess.
そういうこと。
Thanks, Dio. He'd probably been worried that I might try and take the Axelevere from him by force, so he'd hidden himself in the AB room. What a coward. I'd made up my mind to choose Ally no matter what, but a part of me still considered trying to jump Dio if he dropped his guard. Now he'd made sure I wouldn't get the chance to try.
ところで天明寺さんは？
あ、
Luna explained Tenmyoji's choice.
そう。それじゃあ天明寺さんが裏切りを選ぶ心配はなくなったわけね。
そうなりますね。それでアリスさんとケイさん、お二人はどちらを選ぶつもりなんですか？
もちろん協力で決まりよ。だって
私の BP が6だからですね。
ええ、そう。天明寺さんが協力で確定している以上、こっちは裏切りは出せないわ。なぜならそんなことをしたら K の BP が9にな
Yeah,
っちゃ
so
う。
it's in their interest, obviously, to go with Ally, but if Kay gets a chance to make a choice, he might just do so.
ですが、もしも
Exactly.
ケイさんが AB ルームの中で強行手段に出たら。
ご安心ください。私はそのような粗暴な
He
真
would
似は
never
いたし
do
ません。
something so crass.
本当ですか？
ええ。
だったら K は AB ルームに入らなければいい。投票はアリス一人で行うんだ。そうすれば余計な心配はしなくて済むだろう。
いや、しかし。
That sounds like something he doesn't want to do.
申し訳ありませんが、それはできません。
Oh, Kay, what are you doing,
ど
buddy?
うして？
どうしてもです。さあ、アリスさん、行きましょう。
おい、ちょっと待てよ K。
Kay continued briskly towards the AB room, as if he simply hadn't heard Phi. Alice scrambled to follow him, perhaps concerned that he would lock her out. So there's always the possibility that he still could. Only, and last time, he even told, that one time we were against him, he's like, oh, I would never choose betray, and then he does. What a monster. And considering that he wouldn't kill Tenmyoji, I can't rule out the possibility that he may in fact still attempt to do so. Only seconds later, they disappeared into the third room from the left.
大丈夫でしょうか、アリスさん。
信じるしかあるまい。今は K の言葉を。
投票の締め切りまで残り5分です。
Clover and I should probably have a talk, shouldn't we?
時間がない。ルナ、行くぞ。
はい。
They headed off at a trot towards the second room from the right, and were soon out of sight and sight of it. Alright, Clover, so what do you want to tell me? Time for us to go.
わかった。
I sighed to myself, and headed towards the leftmost AB room. So, Clover, you gonna try to seduce me this time? You gonna tell me, well, we should do this because of this, or Tenmyoji told me that, and we'll learn new things? Yep, so let's start.
Sigma, どうするの?
Let's think about this for a moment. Obviously, I don't like dying. You know, that doesn't help the situation. But I don't know how happy I would be about killing Cork. I don't really have a choice, do I? There's only one thing I can do. I'm going to choose Ally.
ダメだよ。そんなの自殺行為だってば。
Not necessarily. Maybe he's not a terrible... No, he's a terrible person, isn't he? This is gonna suck. Well, you never know. Just because Dio told us to ally doesn't necessarily mean he's going to pick betray.
あいつが、あの男が協力を選ぶかもしれないっていうの。
I don't know. I mean, from past experience, we've definitely seen the opposite of that.
ありえないよ。
We've definitely seen him choose betray quite often.
だって、ディオの BP は6なんだよ。
I didn't even know that. So that makes that even extra dangerous.
裏切りを選んで3点取って脱出しようと思ってるに決まってるじゃん。
And I'm sure to someone like Dio, that's highly tempting. Well, what about you? You've got 6 BP too, right? If Dio chose ally and we chose betray, then you'd have 9 BP.
そんな可能性、今の今まで
I didn't even realize that.
だって何度も言うようだけど、ディオは裏切りを選ぶに決まってるし。
And I'm trying to tell you that I've made up my mind. That's who I am. The only choice is ally. It's the only chance we have to get that medicine back.
だからディオに IB って言われるんだよ。
What does that even mean?
こっちが協力を選んだって。
What does IG even mean? It doesn't mean anything. You're just throwing it around as a random word. You don't even know what it means. Maybe he won't. But I can guarantee he'll destroy it if I pick betray. That's who he is.
分かったよ。これだけ言っても聞いてもらえないんなら仕方ないね。投票ボタン押させてもらうから。
No, you won't. Huh? Before I realized what was going on, Clover ducked past me and ran towards the voting machine. No! Stop! I snatched her by the arm and hauled backwards with all my strength. Sorry. Guess that was a little too hard, huh?
ちょっと何考えてんのよ。
I'm stopping you from killing Cork.
女性に対して暴力を振るうなんて卑怯だよ。
Well, you're the one who tried to trick me.
だってこのままじゃシグマ死んじゃうんだよ。
We're not sure on that. It just seems highly likely.
そんなの黙って見てられないよ。嫌なの。あなたに死んでもらいたくないんだよ。
Why is she so attached to Sigma? Is it just because she doesn't want another person to die, or is he special in some way?
投票の締め切りまで残り10秒です。
Thanks. It means a lot to hear you say that, Clover. I gave her my best reassuring nod and turned to face the polling machine.
3、2、1。
Well, I mean, obviously we know what's good and bad about each one. If we go with Betray, there's no doubt that Dio's going to destroy the medicine. If we go with Ally, we might live and we might get the medicine. It's kind of like with this we'd escape with our life. With this, we might get everything. Clover and I stepped out of the AB room. For several long moments, we just stared at one another. Words weren't necessary. Everything she would have tried to tell me I could already see in her eyes. Let's go. I turned and headed towards the results screen.
Sigma.
I heard her whisper. I heard her behind me, her voice verily louder than a whisper. The choice was already made. I stood up straight and kept walking. Alright, what do we got here? So Kay's getting out of here. I knew it! Kay did it! Dang it. We're dead. Well, crap. We're dead. Kay's getting out of here. Oh, I guess Dio is too. I wonder why I didn't think that Dio... Okay, whatever.
結果は以上のように確定しました。
I mean, this isn't great for
各
us.
自バングルの数字をご確認ください。
Hey, look, they have a little negative there. For like the next 3 seconds, I'll be alive.
シグマさんの BP が。
マイナス。
Suddenly, all eyes were on me. I felt their weight, but stood my ground. It was the result I had expected. I took a deep breath and closed my eyes. No one cares about that Kay wouldn't chose Betray. I didn't have to wait long. Ooh, There was a sharp, quick pain in my wrist, barely even noticeable. I couldn't feel anything flowing into my veins, but I knew it was there. First to do the anesthetic Sporophil. We don't by chance have that, injection gun lying around anywhere, do we? With the other medication? I blinked, and my vision started to blur. When I tried to think, it felt like my mind had been stuffed with cotton. My legs began to wobble, then gave out entirely as I crumpled to the floor.
シグマ、シグマ、しっかりしろ。ね
え、シグマ、起きて。
シグマさん。
Is anyone gonna like kick Dio in the face for me? Or do I have to do that myself?
どうして？
Trying to open my eyelids was like trying to lift sheets of lead. My eyes had lost the ability to focus, but I could make out a blur that had to be Dio in front of the number 9 door. You keep your promise. I groaned, and with a Herculean effort lifted my head, then sluggish body off the floor. Every step was a battle, and whenever I shifted my weight, my muscles threatened to give out again. But somehow, I forced myself ahead, a single thought burning in my mind. I would reach Dio. Then at last... The smudge of color faded into a recognizable person. I threw up my hand in front of him. Give Give it back. Give me the medicine.
返せって。まるで自分のも
Can
のみたい
someone
に言うなよ。
please kick Dio in the head for me?
この施設で見つけたものは俺たち全員にとっての共有財産だろ。
I don't care. Just hand me the medicine.
おい、抗ウイルス薬ってどういうことだ？
We found the Axlavir in the laboratory.
それをディオに奪われて。
なんですって。
それじゃあ今ディオさんは持ってるって言うんですか？抗ウイルス薬を。
ああ。
I kept my promise. Now you... I wasn't a fool. I knew the kind of person Dio was. There was a chance he wouldn't give us back the Axlavir, a very large chance I'd have to say. If he didn't, then I'd die with my hands around his throat. I gathered as much of my mind as I could, and got ready to attack.
わかったよ。
Not quite what I'd been expecting.
ほら。
With a shrug, he pulled the vial out of his pocket and tossed it towards me. I caught it, and pulled the tiny glass bottle to my chest, worried I might drop it. The label said unmistakably, Axlavir. Or Levier. Levier? It was the real thing. Whoa! Clover, take it. I held it out towards her.
わかった。
She quickly tucked it into her pocket. Good. Now at least Quark will be alright, assuming he hasn't killed himself already. With that, the last of my strength left me, and I dropped to my knees.
おい、大丈夫かシグマ？
Not exactly. In fact, I think we're pretty not okay. I guess this is it. And then you die. Yep. It'll take your breath away. 9 minutes. Once the spore fill was injected, I had 9 minutes until the muscle relaxant followed it. About 4 minutes had already passed, which left me with 5, give or take a little. In 5 minutes, I would be dead. What could I do in 5 minutes? Maybe not you, but how could I save myself? Heh. I gave a raspy, quiet laugh. Even with death staring me in the face, I seemed to be determined to struggle right up until the very end. I don't know, maybe you could tell someone about the whole thing if you can happen to remember it from the other path we had. You did that before with saving Phi and K, even though you didn't quite do very well. Okay, Sigma. You can do this. Clinging desperately to what little consciousness I had left, I racked my brain for any possible solutions. How could I save myself? How? There had to be something. Every problem, no matter how difficult, has a solution. There's always another option. Hopelessness is just a state of mind. I just had to think. Think. If there was a way out, I'd find it. I wasn't ready to give up on life yet. There had to be an answer. And was there? Later, not now. Yeah, I'm assuming it's going to be something similar, like, hey, if we inject me with that medicine, I won't die. Something like that. Let's see, we're gonna save there. And of course, now we have the option to betray Dio, which I still assume will get, it will end up with us not gaining or losing points, but K will probably still get out, I would imagine. 5 minutes of life. Still locked on that. Ooh. So proof it wasn't murder. That one just got opened. We should take a look at that later. We are out of time for today, but next time, assuming I don't forget, we're going to pick back up on this lock here. Is there any proof it wasn't murder? Then we'll go with betraying Dio here. And I guess assuming that we don't open the lock down here, the one we just got, that'll have us go to the cyan door, which means we're 2/3 of the way through the game now. Interesting. I like these locks. I mean, they're kind of a bit of a bummer at first, but they are really cool when you come back to them. So, I don't know. It's a neat idea to be sure. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed, and we'll be coming back here next time to that second lock, proving that apparently we can prove it wasn't murder. Oh, it's probably due to the information we know that Radical 6 causes suicide. We'll be like, oh, the book. And they'll be like, oh yeah, I have the book in my pocket, but I didn't understand what it meant. And it's like, well, let Phi look at it, or something like that. I don't know. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Bye!